We just finished week 1.
Boo.
Nobody died. One person got injured. But other than that, we did pretty good. We did pretty good.
So we were at Dumas. We were in Dumas at Saints Peter and Paul.
Mm-hmm.
And there were 120-ish kids in the day program, so from 1st to 6th grade, so you can imagine. And then 50 in the night program for 7th through 12th. So, yeah.
Had a lot of kids.
Mm-hmm.
They were all very energetic and happy to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was your favorite part about the whole week?
My favorite thing that happened was during mass prep on, I think, Tuesday, I was telling the kids about the red sanctuary light that's in the church. And I was telling them, like, you know that whenever you see the red light, that Jesus is there in the tabernacle. And I kept telling them that. And I said, so whenever you see it, you have to pray and thank Jesus for being there. Ooh, hello. Thank Jesus for being there. And they were like, okay. So I go and sing in the choir. And so then I go back over after Mass. And all my kids are like, Miss April. And they're all pointing. So there's like 20 people like pointing at the sanctuary light. And I said, oh, I know, I see it. And I said, is it lit? And they were like, yeah. And I said, so you know what that means? And they all go, they all start like, I hope praying. But they all like put their hands like this. And it was so cute. So that was one of my favorite parts. How about you?
I think my favorite part is whenever I was giving my Eucharist talk to the high school kids, and I was telling them like different Eucharistic miracles, and I guess it was like blowing their minds because they were all just like the whole time. So that was really cool to see like high school kids interested in what you're talking about.
Yeah, and if you haven't heard some Eucharistic miracles, Google them, man. They're freaking cool.
Get on your little laptop and
okay.
What do you think is the funniest thing that happened all week?
I don't know. You go first so that I know.
I was trying to think about that this morning while I was running.
I'll go first with a quick story.
Okay,
so Friday's our water day. And I was sitting in Mass next to a little boy who was so cute and so sweet. He is literally adorable and like, will suffocate you in hugs and love, and it's so cute. So he looks up at me and he says, Miss April. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, he said, what do we do after this? And I said, we're going to lunch. He said, oh, and then we wet ourselves. And I was like, yes, we do. It was so funny.
I didn't mean to do this to Josh, but we were doing a skit. So every morning we do a skit, and then we throw out these strings. Every day they get a different colored string called a covenant string. And the first day we were doing blue, so our skit was about water.
Excuse me, sir. We're making a vlog.
Hi.
Hi. So, do you have a plunger?
Yes.
I need one.
That's so embarrassing. That's so going in the vlog. That's embarrassing. Oh, man. So I guess it's just me and the Pope. Papa Francie. Woo. Hi. We can have Josh. Yeah, Josh, come on in. While we wait.
I can be louder for a little bit.
Yeah. We have a guest, Mallory. Yeah, it's reversed, so like you don't know where you are.
Hi, my name's Mallory.
Hi, Mallory.
20?
No.
19?
She's 20, yeah.
I'm 20. I go to WT.
Josh, stop. And now, one of my favorite funny stories is Quade needed a plunger at Mallory's house.
He asked me, where is everybody? And I go, Regina's packing her bag, Colin's packing her bag, and Mallory and April are vlogging. And he goes, "That's not good." And I was like, "Why?" He's like, "This is gonna be embarrassing." And he sat by the door for a little bit, and Colin said, "Knock." And he's like, "This is gonna be embarrassing."
Oh God!
So he knocks.
It is gonna be embarrassing.
He goes, "I need a plunger."
Dang.
It's pretty solid.
Well, is Totus to Us everything you thought it was gonna be?
It is way more than I ever thought it was going to be. And it's only been week 1. Yay.
In a good way or a bad way? Or both?
In both, but mostly good. It has been a very fulfilling first week.
Good.
Very fruitful.
Good. Well, I hope Mallory's not having to plunges.
Yeah.
Okay, Josh.
When I was sitting
Time's
in your,
up.
When I was sitting in your 3rd and 4th
Bye.
grade,
Oh, they're so.
Thanks for coming.
if we need any more plungers, I'll send.
I couldn't
Quaid
find
in.
one.
Oh.
What are you gonna do?
I have no idea where it went. So
Ew, it's just gonna sit there.
don't use that bathroom right now.
Quaid. Can't take him anywhere.
I know.
Don't let Quaid use the bathroom in there.
Bye.
Bye.
Where was I telling my favorite funny
Yeah,
memory?
yeah.
Oh, so we were doing this water skit, and it's called the flower skit, and one person stands in the middle, and they take a drink of water, and then the other person buzzes around them like a bee, and they say, "Flower, flower, give me your sweet nectar." And then the person that's the flower with the water in the mouth, like, sprays the water all over them. So I was the flower, and Josh was the bee, and he was buzzing around me. I took a really big drink, and I was like, I don't want to spit all that water out. So I swallowed some, I guess I swallowed too much, and then I didn't have enough water. So I accidentally, actually spit on him.
It was disgusting. You could see, the saliva. It was so gross.
I thought it was kind of funny. I really didn't mean to. He got me back. What did he do to me? Oh, I had to drink his foot water.
True.
I guess this was kind of my favorite, but also my least favorite part.
Okay.
So each week they get to pick one person to shaving cream. But when both teams are together, we pick one girl and one boy. I got picked to get shaving cream. And the good thing was it wasn't as bad as last year because they didn't put any on my face. But they ripped half of my hair out of my head because they were just putting it in my hair. So I had 120 times 2 hands on my head with shaving cream, and they're kneading it into my hair and pulling, and while they're doing this, they're singing happy birthday. Who does that? And then finally, whenever I was done, I'll show you a video because Josh took one. When I was done, or when they were done, they just started pouring water on me. I was not expecting that. So then shaving cream's running into my eyes, and I was going blind. So then I had to stick my head in a bucket and get all the shaving cream out.
My least favorite thing, aside from being deathly ill right now, was yesterday during water day. So I go outside to help fill water balloons so that way we can get done so they can go outside. So we finished filling up water balloons. Mallory and Colin go inside, and so it's just me, Quaid, and then one of our helpers. And we decided that it would be best to use a water pump thing?
Spigot? Where the water comes out?
Yeah,
water spigot.
Anyways, a water spigot that was way far away from where we actually needed the water balloons. I don't know why. So we had this trash can full. It was so heavy, whatever. It is mud, right? So we can't wheel it. We have to pick it up. So we pick it up. We're walking, picking it up, walking, picking it up, walking. We finally get it onto the sidewalk. So we say, okay, cool. We're gonna go inside, decide who they want a shaving cream, and then while our helper goes and wheels it off. So Quinn and I turn our backs for approximately a half a second, and we hear "ah!" from our helper. So we turn around, and all I see is the trash can going this way with all of our water balloons popping out, and then our helper going this way. So then we had no water balloons, and our helper had a dislocated shoulder. And 120 kids expected a water day.
Yes.
So that was the good part. So now name one of your most fruitful things that you could see.
So after one night, we had kind of talked about like saints in that talk, and so then in our small group, that's what we were talking about. And I talked like, I feel kind of bad, but I talked like the whole small group about how awesome saints were. And then so Dumas has a saints chapel where they have icons of all these different saints, and I said, if you're looking for a good way to like learn about a saint that you don't know about, I said after night prayer, like stay and we'll play Saint Roulette, where we'll like one person will like cover their eyes and they'll go like this, and then whenever somebody tells them to stop, whatever saint they stopped on, they can like learn about them. And like 4 or 5 people like stayed to do that. So that was really cool. And then the next day, one girl had like written a paper about her saint and like gave it to me. So I thought that was really cool. And I was like, here, like I read it and I was like, oh, you can have it back. And she was like, no, I want you to keep it. And I was just like, okay, thank you.
That's
I was crying. But it was pretty cool. It was cool to see that they were like, they wanted to know more about saints.
Yeah, they were actually interested.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
I have one for the day and one for the night. So I'll do my day program first. So, our last day, it's hard getting first and second graders, especially like 40 of them, to sit next to each other in mass and like actually get something out of it, you know, and not talk and craziness. And the same boy that I talked about earlier, saying about how he was going to wet himself, he looked after it was over. Father was processing out of the church after mass was over, and he said, no. And I was like, what? Like, what's wrong, you know? And he was like, I don't want it to be over. And I was like, oh, my heart. And he said, I wish I could stay in church forever. And I was like, you are so cute. I'm going to take you home. And then, so that was good. And then the high school one that I have was the very first night, Bianca and I had a small group, and we asked them who wanted to be here, and we had a lot of hands, and we said, how many of you were forced to be here? And we had a couple hands too. And so they went through the whole week, and they came every day. I kept my eyes on the ones that like raised their hands. And they came every day, and on Wednesday we had adoration and confession, and they both went to confession, so I was like, oh, so cute. Like, we must have like, you know, like spoken some truth enough for them to like actually get something out of this week. And then they came to the social night for fun. It was so crazy. So
I remembered one from the high school night.
Okay.
So April had this pudding at training, and she never ate it because she never had a spoon. And she was planned on leaving it at training, and somehow it ended up in her car.
Yep.
And so we've decided that every vlog that we make, we're going to play What Are the Odds to see if somebody has to eat it.
Mm-hmm.
So this pudding has been sitting in her car all week in the hot sun. So, April, what are the odds that you eat this pudding?
I think we should do like a consistent number throughout it.
So like
1 in 15? 1 in 20?
1 in 15 the whole time?
Yeah, or 1 in 20. What?
Okay.
Which one should we do?
Let's do 1 in 20.
Okay, 1 in 20.
And the way we play here at Totus Tuus is if you say the same number, the person that got asked has to do it. And if your numbers equal up, the other person has to do it.
Yes.
Unless we both say 10, because then it adds up to 20, and we said the same number, then we both have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So, 1 in 20.
1 in 20.
3, 2, 1.
17. Oh, that was too close. That was so scary.
I was actually thinking about saying 3 and then 7 came out. So I would have had to do it. And
I thought about
like
7,
that.
but then I was like, no, I'm going to make it 17.
I'm glad you did.
I'm glad I did.
So tune in next time and we'll see who else has to eat it. I just have one thing left to say.
Yeah.
And that is
Sleep talk, baby.